We have not identified anything anomalous or any national security or public safety risk over the civilian airspace in New Jersey or other states in the Northeast.
Ah, horse shit!
Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team, and before we get into today's video, I just want to take a second to say that Secure Team 10 just turned 13 years old yesterday, and I feel really old, but nonetheless, none of this would be possible without you guys, the viewers, the believers, the truth seekers. So thank you for being here, for being patient with me, and here's to another year of digging deeper and pushing for answers. So happy birthday. Now, let's get into what you guys came for. I know I've been missing in action for a bit. I'm actually just getting over a terrible flu, as you can probably hear from my voice, which hit me right after my most recent video and took me out for almost 3 weeks, and my voice still isn't back, so bear with me. And speaking of that last most recent video, which if you haven't seen, here it is. I don't know if this is just a coincidence or maybe I know what I'm talking about, who knows, but that video happened to be specifically about a vintage piece of UFO footage of what appear to be what look like UFO drones being dropped in the sky from a larger ship or another dimension, and featured other videos similar to that and how it's been happening, and this goes back decades and decades and decades. What is occurring right now is not new and has been occurring for quite some time, but I'll put the link to that video down below. It's the newest one before this one. But now, the biggest news of the day, and my take on it, of course, is the drone sightings that started in New Jersey and spread across the East Coast, and now have people buzzing in Ohio, including right here in my birthplace of Columbus and Hilliard, in some of the most recent breaking news on this situation. Now, there's no sugarcoating it. This situation has spiraled into something much bigger, and as usual, the official explanations aren't cutting it, and they never do. And just to bring anyone who doesn't know up to speed, this all kicked off in mid-November when residents in New Jersey began reporting strange lights hovering in the night sky, triangular formations moving with silent precision. Some of them just sat in the sky. But this wasn't just 1 or 2 sightings. They started multiplying across the state and spread to New York and Pennsylvania. The videos, of course, started to pour in. Then came the game changer, and that was when 55 drones were caught on police video emerging from the ocean near Island Beach State Park. Witnesses said that these drones were tailing a U.S. Coast Guard vessel, which ramped up the suspicion. And we're not talking about cheap, off-the-shelf drones here. This is definitely coordinated, large-scale activity happening right under our noses.
There is an aircraft, most likely an alien aircraft, flying in the sky. Bullshit, that's a drone, not a drone. There is an aircraft, most likely an alien aircraft, flying in the sky. Bullshit, that's a drone, not a drone.
so what do we know about what's occurring? Well, not much. Even with all the updates that I could give, we just don't know anything. And when it comes to the government or NASA, aka never a straight answer, the more silent they are, the more concrete my belief is that they are hiding something, and they typically are. And one of the most recent updates on this situation that broke just yesterday was a joint press conference where officials from Homeland Security, the FBI, and other agencies stated that they still, quote, do not have definitive answers regarding the origin of these drones. Big surprise. And this is actually pretty comical to me, because instead of doing their due diligence and giving us some real answers, all of these different governmental agencies couldn't even put out their own press releases or information. Instead, they all just got together and put out a single sheet of paper, the way I read it at least, telling the public that we don't have the right to know what's going on, because you can bet your bottom dollar they know more than they are letting on. And that's always been the case. So they put out this joint press release claiming that there is no evidence of any nefarious activity or immediate threat. But at this point, it's starting to sound like the same old government playbook. No answers, vague assurances, and zero transparency. And meanwhile, the sightings continue. And here's where it gets personal, because over the past few days, similar drone sightings have been reported now in Ohio, specifically Columbus and Hilliard, which are my own backyard and birthplaces. And let me remind you guys, this isn't far from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which has a history steeped in UFO lore. If you remember earlier in the week, when this all first started, these drones ranging from little tiny ones to ones that were the size of cars, not only were just swarming, the sky or coming from the ocean, but they were surrounding military complexes and bases. And the same appears to be happening now around Wright-Patterson here in Ohio, which for decades, researchers and locals alike have believed to be the real Area 51, and I believe that as well. So definitely look into Wright-Patterson, or if you know anyone that has ever worked there, or if you live nearby, post your comments down below or shoot me emails if you have any footage. And so something is happening here, and it raises questions, big ones. And to be frank, a large part of this situation is pure confusion. And I think that's by design, just to get us to look at the skies, knowing that we would start putting our own drones up into the air. Meanwhile, the government is doing something else behind our backs as we all stare at this news. And then everyone starts to become hyper-focused on the skies, which has led to a lot of regular aircraft and drones getting misidentified. And let's be honest, people are making this worse by sending up their own drones to chase these things, and it's very dangerous if you're planning to do so. And I'm a drone owner myself. I love to do it. It's a hobby of mine, but frankly, I think it's just hurting the situation, and it's delaying answers for us, because now we've got drones chasing drones, and videos of those drones being posted, and it's turned into a mess. So, it's totally chaotic, but mysterious and a bit nerve-wracking at the same time, because there's so many theories as to what could be happening. And so let's go ahead and move on to some of those theories, and I'd like to start out with one of the more interesting ones, which was depicted in a video that recently surfaced on Twitter from a guy with experience in aviation and drone tech, and his take was that these drones are part of a government operation to locate a lost nuke. And you heard me right, a missing nuclear asset or weapon, potentially sitting somewhere off of the New Jersey coast. The idea is that they're using specialized drones equipped with radar and detection tech to scan the ocean floor under cover of darkness. And while this theory is kind of out there, it's also very interesting, and I think completely plausible, because stranger things have happened. So yeah, I don't know if this is the case, and a lot of people on Twitter seem to think that while plausible, there's just something bigger happening here. But the prospect of a lost nuke is definitely something, it's food for thought. Could these drones be part of a foreign surveillance operation? Sure they could. Could they be advanced military tech, ours or someone else's? That's a real possibility too. And yet, despite all the agencies involved, we still know next to nothing. So where are we now? We've got drones emerging from the ocean, being spotted near critical infrastructure and military bases. We've got Ohio sightings near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base happening now. We've got government agencies putting out their usual non-answers, theories ranging from UFOs to lost nukes to foreign surveillance, or maybe something is happening below us or underground, and only time will tell if that could be the case. But the way my mind works after 13 years running this channel, if the government tells me that it's nothing, then it's definitely something. And the way this all suddenly occurred and the fact that now everyone's looking up, it really makes me wonder what's happening down here on the ground. But hey, more food for thought. So as of right now, what we know is that something isn't adding up here, and that's my personal opinion. Something is happening. And I'll say this, when you have this many moving parts, this many agencies involved, and still no answers, it only fuels the mystery. But I truly want to know what you guys think. I understand that this is a developing situation, and I wanted to get my thoughts out. I wanted to get a video out, so are these UFOs of an alien nature, military tech, something foreign, or are we witnessing a larger operation that's being hidden in plain sight? Please drop your theories in the comments below, and of course, if you've seen anything strange in the skies, send it my way, because this story isn't over, and you can bet I'll be watching it closely. There very well could be some sort of otherworldly invasion happening as we speak, and all of these drones that we're seeing are merely a smokescreen from what is really occurring, and there's just so many theories right now, and the situation is so fluid that it's very hard to tell. But from what I've seen, and the way some of these things are acting, and the fact that people have seen other craft in the skies that aren't drones and aren't airplanes, but are what are described as the silent black triangles, just sitting in the sky, you know, doing some pretty otherworldly maneuvers. And so I'm looking for footage like that, because as I said, anything is possible. So if you guys find something, send it in. My email and everything, again, is down in the video description, as it is in every video. And if you'd like to support via a tip or a donation via CashApp or PayPal, the links to that are down below as well. So thank you guys for stopping by. Happy 13th birthday to the Insomnia team. You guys be good, be safe, and I will see you back in just a bit.